Well, hello. Welcome back to Neptune Fish Tarot. My name is Alicia. So, I wanted to do a reading for this week coming up. Let's see, it'll be Monday, April 12th through Sunday, the 18th, 2021, for the collective. So, this is a collective read for everybody. And I was meditating before this and I was asking Spirit to show us as a collective how we can bring more love into our lives. Give us some advice on how we can go about manifesting love, right? I feel like it's a very universal want and need for us as individuals to connect with others intimately, as a community, in families, in our places of work, and our friendships, and in the world, right? When we have love as the guiding light and the source of our actions and our activities, then we bring love towards us. So I pulled out several oracle decks today. I guess 4 of them, 5 of them today. And then I've got a tarot message with the Muse Tarot. And so again, the question I posed to Spirit was to give us all some advice on how we can attract more love into our lives. And Spirit delivered. So here goes. Listen with your heart. You are listening, but need to hear with a loving heart. I'm going to read all of these actually. And then Matt Kahn's mantra cards. I picked this one out, Dissolving Judgments, and we're going to read the back. I don't have to like the actions of others in order to love my journey. I don't have to like the actions of others in order to love my journey. So kind of bouncing the ball back to our court, right? It's not always about what others do, but more about loving ourselves. Interesting. And then in the center, we had the Eternal Now card. And this speaks about opening up our hearts and being willing to hear the guidance from Spirit when we cry out for help, when we're in a place of want or need. Spirit reminds us that we have all that we need inside of us right now. We are eternally in the now. And so I feel like with regards to bringing more love into our lives, maybe the message is that we want to be careful about our mindsets and allowing ourselves to sort of live in the past or fantasize about the future, because what we need is available to us right now. And when we spend time sort of ruminating over the past, what ends up happening most times is that we kind of get stuck in that pattern, in that cycle in our heads, where we start to focus on what we miss, what we're missing, um, what didn't go right, what isn't right, we're comparing what's happening in our lives right now based on some other time, some other experience, whether it be from the past or conversely projecting into the future, where we are not focusing on being grateful for what is happening right now. When we spend time focusing on what gifts are in front of us in this moment, it allows the universe to respond by gifting us more. Okay? So that's a profound one there. And I want to say also, with the dissolving judgments, not judging, right? Not going into negative judgment about what is, because what is right now, there are gifts in it, right? There's always something good to be found in what is. And when we can get excited about the little things, when we can find ourselves and escalate our thinking and our mindsets into places of being grateful, and then maybe into places of being joyful and excited, and really honing in on all of the things that bring beauty and joy and compassion and celebration, right? When we can focus on those kinds of things, on those kinds of events, even if we're just looking at a beautiful sunset, a pretty tree, the plants that are blooming in the spring, which is now in the northern hemisphere, the season that we find ourselves, when we can spend time and energy and feeding all of the things that are good about now, then the next now will have even more good things come. And then the next now will have even more good things come, and more good things come, and more good things come, right? And every time we celebrate those wonderful happenings, the next level can be bigger, can be more. The universe knows what our heart desires, right? We've got to connect to the love in our hearts. We've just got to be aware, right, of that. And then we've got the pink rose of Lady Nada. And actually, I wanted to read, because there was a message with this card, but it's been a while since I've come across it. So let me actually go into page, where are we? Page 90. Something or another. Oh wait, that's not it. Sorry guys. I want to read this because it's going to give us a little insight. There we go. Page 91. And it says, "You're in the midst of a heart healing." Of course. That's beautiful. A healing of the fears and anxieties that have held you back from enjoying your full magnificence. Lady Nada is here with all her gentle power, washing you in soft pink light. All anger, fear, sadness, bitterness, disappointment, and hurt are soothed and loved into peace. She brings you a sign of your future blossoming into deeper love. Well, now, if that isn't the universe directly responding to my inquiry for how we can bring ourselves more love, I don't know what is. The pink rose of Lady Nada is a spiritual gift from higher guidance. It brings love, healing, strength, and compassion to your heart. You may be burned out, feeling anger, fear, depression, chronic fatigue, or compromised wellness. Perhaps your heart is so tired that you struggle with compassion fatigue, finding it difficult to care even though your nature is one of deep compassion and kindness. Perhaps you have put your heart and soul into something or someone and feel your efforts have been cast aside or taken for granted. Perhaps you're processing a great loss. Whatever the reason, Lady Nada has come to comfort your soul. Your pain will pass and your suffering will be alleviated sooner and more gently than you might expect. It's beautiful. I love that. It's nice. And then finally we have the unknown. This card refers to, it is scary. It's scary because we don't know what's coming next always, right? And sometimes we find ourselves in this place of not knowing. And it's hard to keep the faith, right? It's hard to depend on and have faith in that you're being supported and held and guided and protected, right? But you are. And so this card kind of lets us know that if you dig deep into your knowing, that knowing the unknown means having faith that you're going to be not just okay, but more than okay, that you're going to be successful, that you're going to be gifted the things that you desire, that you're going to be loved. And you're going to be given the people in your environment that you need to share that love, right? Those are things that are automatic. They're for us. They're why we're here. And so knowing the unknown, knowing that you know that you know that what is meant for you is coming. And when you can have that faith and that knowing, the universe is giving us the message. This is going to open that portal for love to show up in your life. Because we are love, right? And when we tap into that deep place of knowing that we are love, then we can attract that love. And so I pulled an overall energy card from the Fairy Oracle, and I just about died when Fairy Spotting came out. Again, I mean, to be fair, she probably hasn't come out in maybe, 7 or 10 days now. But there in March, she came out, 3 different readings? Well, here she is again, and she's the overall. It's time to go fairy spotting. It is said that seeing is believing, but in fact, the opposite is true. Believing is seeing. If you've seen any of my previous readings, you've seen her, right? And this is, I feel like, the crux of all manifestation. So we're asking Spirit, how can we manifest love into our lives? How can we attract more love into our lives? And the answer is by believing. And I think that just ties in real beautifully with this. Just knowing that it's on its way. So I think we'll just go ahead and look at the tarot. just 6 cards came out. But I want to look at these cards again through the lens of attracting love. And so I think very simply, the 10 of emotions, that's the 10 of cups. For this reading, I would say this. We have got to keep ourselves emotionally elevated, right? So when we are falling into despondency and depression and malaise and upset, not feeling well emotionally, okay, that's going to impact our ability to attract love. And so here I would read this to mean we've got to keep our expectations high, okay? We've got to be expectant that all of the beautiful, joyful, emotionally fulfilling experiences, that love is it's on its way, right? We have to expect that to show up in our life. We're going to attract at the same vibration where we are. And so I feel like this is a message to take care of our emotional well-being, to take care of our expectations, to take care of keeping ourselves in a harmonious and balanced condition. And the 3 of materials, this speaks about having relationships with others that are likewise harmonious. These are having people around you, the people that you keep around you are going to be really pivotal in this journey. So if there are people who are always bringing you down and always, judging you or criticizing you or calling you up with, a lot of negative talk and so forth, these are the people who are going to negatively impact your emotional state. So we want to be careful about who we're surrounding ourselves with. When we keep our circles tight and we keep the influences around us positive, we're going to attract more. We're going to attract more of those people into our spheres. And so I think that's what that card refers to. And then the Ace of Voices, which is always a voice of clarity. And this is a gift. This is the divine gift from the universe. Okay. This is all of that knowing, that tapping in to our spiritual selves. And, this is the universe giving you that extra little bit of knowing that you need, that little boost, that little confidence that that good things are on their way for you. Okay, love is on its way. And similarly with the Knight of Voices, this is again the Pegasus above the clouds, staying above the noise of the world, not, being in the world but not of the world, right? As it is said. Keeping your mental chatter to a minimum, keeping negative mental chatter at bay, right? Focusing on, staying in a positive mindset, focusing on being grateful and thankful. Things that you can do with the Knight of Voices would be journaling and writing, keeping track of all of the positive elements and the positive things in your life, keeping those things forward in your thoughts, all right? That's going to be really important in this process. Now, the 4 materials it's interesting. When I put this card down, I was immediately looking at this camel in the background. And I thought to myself, you know, maybe when our landscape is barren, maybe when there are people around us or at a distance from us, and maybe they're not so helpful, and maybe we have to spend a season alone and we have to nurture ourselves. Because look at this woman. She has taken on the task of taking care of herself, right? If you find yourself in a place where you're alone and there isn't anybody around you to help you at this time, there are a lot of things that you can do to nurture yourself, okay? And finally, the Six of Emotions. And I would say about this card, it's that child, that inner child. When you look at yourself in the mirror, okay, just remember, there was a time when you were innocent, when you were in a place where none of the things of the world affected you. They didn't impact you. They didn't bother you. And so be like that child that you once were. Go back to that space. And what did that child do? They lived in the moment. They played. They enjoyed life around them. They didn't allow things to worry them, right? They just got up. They faced the day anew with fresh eyes. They went out and they played with their friends. They, created, and they danced and they sang, and they just simplified their experience. And so I feel like this is something else that we can do right now, right? To keep our vibrations elevated, to keep our emotions in check, to keep our mental chatter at bay. Expect amazing things to happen. Believe that there's always healing available. And whatever it is, listen with your heart. Listen to the world around you with your loving heart. And you will have love find you in that space. All right, you guys. I hope you have a really wonderful week. I will see you next time. Take care.